Hi everybody, sanibonani, welcome to my channel. Igama lami nguNtando Mdletshe, and on this channel siyayifunda incwadi zethu zesiZulu bese siza la sizoxoxa ngazo le ndaba esuke sifundile sixoxela laba abangenazo isikhathi sokuthi bayifunde incwadi nalaba futhi abanqina ukufunda. Siyaphinda futhi size lana sizokhuluma ngama reality shows ethu ala eMzansi. Guys, it's hot. Can someone who knows one of the producers is Uthando Nesthembu just abaxhawule somewhere, because this episode was full of answers. We had questions and the questions were answered. So let's get into it because it's hot. Uma ngabe uyaqala ukuba nathi namhlanje kule channel ungakhohlwa ukuthi press subscribe, kodwa ke only if you like the content. Uphinde futhi press notification bell eduze kuka subscribe ukuze phela uthole umyalezo uma ngabe umsebenzi omusha sesiufakile. Guys, so today it was episode 15. It was episode 15, and obviously they like setting us up, for Ilokuzana. I don't know if the editors like to set us up for the episode and give us a little bit of background. And today they decided to give us a bit of background in terms of what happened. Ngaleya meeting when Umsele was trying to explain indaba yokuthi umuzi wakhe awumile kahle, and the reason ethi umuzi wakhe awumile kahle is because kunezindlu ezingenabo abafana. That's where the whole issue yokwabiwa kwabafana started, where uma ngabe asked the question yokuthi uma usho kanjalo, does it mean ukuthi umuntu onenkinga la yimi noma Khumalo na, because ithina abantu esingenabo abafana. First, I just want to get into a little bit, because I never got to do a video yokuthi ngi-explain indaba yokwabiwa kwabafana, because a lot of us, me included, were confused about why uMacele was more upset about indaba yokuthi fanele kusizakale uMakhumalo ngengane yakhe yomfana when uMayeni had ingane eziwu2 zabafana. So bengi confused, and a lot of you guys were confused too. And one lady, I just couldn't find her comment now mangithi ngiyabheka la kuma videos, did try and explain it kuma comments, and I understood it a little bit. And I watched another video when another lady was explaining it, and I was trying to find a way nami yoku explain ngendlela ezoba easy to understand. Apparently mengabe uthatha amakhosikazi engezoba mambili ezoba more than 2 amakhosikazi, kuba namakhosikazi esithi nje ake ngenze example yokuthi kunamakhosikazi abasesandleni sokudla, kube namakhosikazi asesandleni sesinxele. So if you want to think about it ngokwesingisi, khona abama even numbers, khona abama odd numbers. So if uthatha ngekathi thatha uMacele for an example, that is unkosikazi wesandla sokudla, and then waseyaphinda wathatha umayeni isandla sesinxele. Mase phinda futhi sethatha omunye unkosikazi wesithathu, which was uMakhumalo sesandleni sokudla, and then bese phinda thatha uMangwembe isandla sesinxele leso. So ngala ka right unoMacele unoMakhumalo, ngala ka left unoMayeni unoMangwabe. And uma ngabe kwabiwa abafana, only inkosikazi yaka right ingamabela unkosikazi waka right, kodwa ngeke imabele waka left. Nangala ka left bazokwabelana bodwa, which means ukuthi izingane zikaMayeni can only help endlini kaMangwabe, nezikaMacele can only help endlini kaMakhumalo. This is why uMacele is so upset about it, because that means that uLwandle, being the only boy anaye endlini yakhe, now he is going to have to help endlini kaMakhumalo, meaning ukuthi uMayeni cannot take one boy ayosiza ngala kaMangwabe and then omunye aye ngala kaMakhumalo. No, uMayeni vele owakhe umfana will have to go ayendlini kaMangwabe ukuthi ayosiza khona. So for me, when I finally watched that video, I was like, wow, finally I understand why uMacele is upset ngaleyanto, because vele uLwandle ozogcina esiza endlini kalona. So I thought I would just explain it quickly, because they did touch on that today, ukuthi inkinga eziningi zivela from that conversation yokuthi uLokhuzana uMseleku once uthe number 5, I really thought ukuthi indaba number 5 was done and over with. We were not going to have that conversation. Ngike ngasho ngathi kamseleke ama conversations, ama issues awa resolve, they leave it alone, baqhubeke nempilo. Nangempela today azange sizwe lutho ngendaba yeingane ezabingelela kwangavunywa. Part of me is glad, but part of me is not, because I know deep down they are still upset with each other. So so basikhombise that background when uMayen was saying ukuthi yena hamba umlanda lo nkosikazi mina ngeke ngize ngimthande futhi uma umlanda ke mina ngizohamba. So ke masiqala ke this episode, it's a nice thing. Uthobile being a peacemaker, we all know ukuthi that's what she is. She wants everybody to come together. She wants the whole family to come together. She has invited the whole family. In the preview, I thought ukuthi ingane azikho. No guys, ingane were there, well dressed, well decorated. She had a caterer, but bengenzele kwakhe benzele endlini yakamsele baye bathi indlu yakamsele abenzela kuyona ama family events. So that's where the event was. She had called everybody to what was dinner. So uthi nje bebezodla uthi she knows the family likes eating, so she thought it would be nice for them to come together and eat. And I had to I don't know if it's because they're doing the show, guys, but yeah, it makes sense because if you are doing the show and dinner, sometimes as a family dinner where you just come in and sit down and eat, anything formal that you have to discuss. But I guess because they're doing the show, every time they have it dinner or eat lunch or whatever, there has to be something as or discuss, so that could create that drama for the show. So even though I didn't understand why they had to have a conversation that they had kule dinner lena, I do understand because they're shooting a show. Producers were like, so guys, we're having dinner, so what is this going to be about, so that this is an episode from this dinner. So they come in and kuyadliwa kumnandi, the table is set kamnandi, everyone seemed to be in the good mood. And Utobile, as usual, guys, she was a good host and she was looking nice. And then my conversations aqala. And I made notes, guys, because I don't want to forget anything. Now uLokhuzana uMseleke talks about indaba yokuthi ufuna ukuthatha number 5, and then he says ukuthi since angazange azakwazi ukuthi bavume ukuthi athathe number 5, ucela ukuthi abe nentombi. Okay, i-comment kaMacele is because uMacele is like, i-opinion yakhe is, if ukuthi when uyahluleka ukuthi uconvince amakhosikazi wakho ukuthi ufuna ukuthatha unkosikazi or ufuna ukuqhubeka nesithembu, that means isithembu siyakuhlula. So why uthi yeka into mengabe yakuhlula yeka into mengabe yakuhlula, because that means if you are saying to me that the reason ungezomthatha unkosikazi wesi5 is because amanye amakhosikazi akhe awavumi, that means usuyahluleka phela isithembu sakho. So why usaqhubeka nesithembu? So uthi yena ke uthi ucela ukuthi abe nentombi. Kungiconfusile ke lokho mina, ngoba I thought ukuthi uMthombeni vele has said previously ukuthi unezancinza. Isn't izancinza intombi, or kunomahluko phakathi kwentombi nezancinza? Uma Umacele into ayibuzayo is we are confused, because on one time uthe wena unelokhuzana unentombi, ufuna ukintroduce intombi kumina, now usufuna futhi ukuthi ufuna ukuthatha number 5, ikona kuphi okuzokwenzeka kahle kahle? Umacele befuna ukclarify lokho. Plus she's saying ukuthi mina I am open to you taking number 5 as long as it's within lesikhathi lesengikunika sona. Uma kushayiwa shilami leli sasivumelene ngalo, then we are done with indaba ka number 5. But leyo ukuthi one time you say ukuthi unentombi and then the other ukhuluma ngo number 5, ikona kuphi okwenzekayo? Ngathi uMacele ubefuna leyo clarity leyo. And then at some point, because it starts getting serious indaba yokuthi ukuthi they're really talking about indaba yokuthathwa kuka number 5 and there are kids endlini. Nami bese ngicabangile vele already ukuthi why are they having this conversation in front of the kids? And uma ngabe suggest ukuthi guys, since sesikhuluma ngalento, can we talk about it another time? Okay, at least can we have the kids out bese kuyakhulunywa? And uMseleke is like, they're going to see this on TV anyways. I don't know what you guys feel about that. I really felt like there wasn't a conversation to have in front of the kids because it gives kids the indication that there is a tension between the parents. I think even when it's a home where there is a mother and a father, it's just two. Mansweni nama argument is very noma impikiswano or ungazwisisani. It's very important to keep that away from the kids. I remember mangabe uma wami ethathisana nobaba khona that feeling as a child that you get ngathi even though it's not about you but you always feel like it's about you when you're a child. So I really felt like it was wrong, but he insisted ulona umsele ukuthi no bazoyibuka lento ku TV anyway, so why not talk in front of them. So iyaqhubeka conversation even though mangabe bezama indaba ukuthi ingane iphume, so iyaqhubeka ke leyo nto. In the interview, one of the things that Umseleku says is that uma ngwabe benomayeni bayakhohlwa ukuthi bona bafika kanjani kaMseleku. My understanding yaleso statement isikaMseleku is that he's trying to say ukuthi nabo babe yintombi at some point. Nabo baqoma indoda yomuntu at some point baze bangene la kaMseleku. Now abasafuna ukuthi lokho abakwenzayo bona kwenziwe kubona. That's what he said lokhuzana. Angazi ukuthi ngifila kanjani ngaleso statement, but we find out lana ukuthi umsele kunama promises athile awenzile to each wife that I think he was hoping ukuthi lawo promises will be kept private and away from the cameras and away from other wives. And manje it's coming up to he made certain promises. The only promise we knew about was the promise kama cele ukuthi he has to take a wife before babe na 20 years beshadile, but we didn't know about the promise that he made to ulokhuzana, to umangwabe. So umangwabe ke expresses indaba yokuthi khona isithembiso esasenziwe between yena noma nomseleko, and she's saying ukuthi mayeshada yena umseleko had made a promise yokuthi ngeke asamthatha omunye. She was going to be the last umangwabe ukuthi athathwe as umakoti. Truthfully, there was their agreement and that omunye ngeke azathathwa, so there was a promise. And umseleko yena says ukuthi akazange lokho azakusho kumangwabe, athi akakushongo lokho bebo2 between yena nomangwabe. Uthi yena lokho wakusho enkonzweni esontweni just to convince abazalwane ukuthi bamvumele ukuthi athathe lamakhosikazi akhe okugcina. He said ukuthi omangwabe benomakhumalo abokugcina, but leyo promise leyo akazange azayenze kumangwabe. But umangwabe uthe le promise ayenza siso2 ukuthi ngizoba okugcina ukuthi angithathe. Umseleko ke yena issue yakhe is that even if ngangiyenzile ke leyo promise, mind you ukuthi le information asitholi bekhuluma kanjena. Umseleko talks ku interview uthi umseleko okay fine, I guess it's leyo promise yayenziwe, however way that promise was made, but uma ngabe sefikile umangwabe akazange azabathole phela abafana, and I ended up with the problem ukuthi abafana still abeko. So I needed to change now and say ukuthi now I need to take another wife. Umangwabe ke yena on his side is like, okay fine, you are free to change your mind ngepromise owungenzele yona ukuthi mina ngokugcina ukuthi ungithathe. And but if you are going to change your mind now ukuthi mina I'm the last one, allow me nami ukuthi ngishintshe my mind, because nami ngavuma ukuthi ngingene esithenjini knowing ukuthi ngizoba unumber gcina. So now if you are changing your mind and saying now usufuna omoya because what you didn't get abafana kumina, allow me ke nami to make a decision to walk out. It's like I felt like, and she said it a number of times guys, to say ukuthi ngivumele ke ngiphume mina kulomshado lona uqhubeke wena with pursuing your dream yokuthi uthole abafana. I'm not going to stop you, but I'm just saying you have broken your promise ukuthi ngunumber last. Let me break my promise nami yokuza la emshadweni ngizoshada now by letting me walk out. Guys, I mean for me that was as good as mangwabe saying I want a divorce. If you take another wife, I do want a divorce. And umseleko says khona into ayishoyo ukuthi you know what, mina ngeke ngize ngilokhuze, mina ngeke ngize ngilawulwe umangwabe ewokugcina, ngeke ngize ngizwe ngumangwabe mina ukuthi ngenzeni noma ngengenzeni. Angazi guys, but mina I feel like there is no love anymore between umangwabe nomseleko. Not ukuthi umangwabe akamthanda umseleko, bobabili I feel like abasathandani. They've had it with each other because the things that they say about each other akuzona ezothanda, abasekelani, abasupportani, abavikelani, and we see that today. So ke uthi umsele yena ngeke azezwe ngomangwabe being unkosikazi wokugcina ukuthi uzomthatha unkosikazi or not. Uma ngabe ke ukuthi mina ngunumber last doesn't mean ukuthi fanele ngibe slim. Akuthi ngunumber last afanele ukuthi nje anything afuna ukuyenza yena fanele yenziwe. Akusho ukuthi ngoba mina ngunumber last ama opinions kufanele azwakala. It doesn't mean ukuthi I mustn't speak up uma into ongayithandi just because I am number last. There is a conflict. I think lento isinika ama answers as to what the conflict is between uMangwabe no Lokhuzana no Mseleku. And Mseleku does say because at some point uMangwabe walks up because she kept saying, I think really honestly the wives came there for dinner. I don't think it's they had intentions of having those conversations. And uMangwabe kept saying over and above ukuthi ingane were there and she didn't feel comfortable talking to ingane. She wanted to take amaphilisi akhe. Remember she has ilokhuzana. I think she had surgery on her ears. So she kept saying ufuna ukuthatha amaphilisi. Ithi ngiyophuza amaphilisi, ithi ngiyophuza amaphilisi. So ugcine ehambile. I-conversation lena ingakapheli. I think at some point she just wanted a way out of that conversation. And ulokhuzana ingane nazo at some point I think now Mseleku realized ukuthi no ilokhuza conversation is getting tense, so ingane can go. Khona futhi into ayishilo ulokhuzana ehlabile kakhulu, and I feel like if ukuthi they are not divorced yet benomangwabe, if she watches this episode it might push her out. And she said ukuthi out of all of my wives ngeke mina ngiphathwe umangwabe. And Mseleku really looks fed up ngomangwabe. She really does. And but it's clear ukuthi uMangwabe is saying, listen, if you're not going to keep your promise of being number last, let me walk out. I'm not saying ngiyakuvimba ukuthi umthathu number 5, but let me walk out of this marriage. Now let me break my promise if you're breaking yours. And then ke ulokhuzana umayeni, now I realize ukuthi into engenza ukuthi ngibone ukuthi Mseleku really doesn't care that much ngomangwabe, just as much as umangwabe now it looks like she doesn't care about ulokhuzana Mseleku. Because remember ukuthi when it was umayeni who was making a stance yokuthi mina if you take another wife I'm walking out, nkathi kumayeni Mseleku would shake and he would go as far as saying, you know what, kusho ukuthi indaba ka number 5 fanele ngiyeke. Today, because at the beginning it was only uMangwabe who was making that point, he starts saying, and then umayeni mayesho nakuthi phela vele nami I would leave if you took ulokhuzana, and unkosikazi was 5, and then ulona is like ayisuka wena ngeke uzuhambe. I think ukuthi he's willing to risk it with ulokhuzana, with uMangwabe. But with umayeni, I think he's got it engqondweni yakhe ukuthi umayeni is not going to leave anyway. So even if he forces and takes number 5, umayeni will end up staying. And I think he has tested that theory with umayeni because umayeni never wanted uMakhumalo to come, and he took uMakhumalo. Umayeni stayed. Umayeni never wanted Mseleku to take ulokhuzana uMangwabe, but Mseleku took uMangwabe and ulokhuzana and umayeni stayed. So he knows already ukuthi yes, umayeni might talk the talk, but she won't walk the walk. Mase kufanele ahambe ngeke aze ahambe. But with uMangwabe, it's a new thing ukuthi uMangwabe alanywe. So she really might actually walk. But he feels like he is willing to take that risk with uMangwabe because it doesn't look like he cares whether uMangwabe stays or goes. He even said ukuthi ngeke ngize ngixoshe umuntu mina ukuthi abantu bahambe, ngeke ngize ngibaxoshe, but ukuthi number 5 ngimthathe kona ngizomthatha. So I feel like he is willing to risk it. I don't know how we ended up going back to indaba number 5 because I honestly think that it's something that is not gonna happen anymore. So and then after uMangwabe leaves, i-conversation moves towards now indaba yokuprotectwa kukamuzi kaMakhumalo. Mseleku says as a joke ukuthi hey yonke lento lena is because ngizama ukuvikela umuzi wakho esho uLokhuzana uMakhumalo, and then that conversation it's not even a conversation, it was just ama-bests anger from people, or frustration, or should I say frustration. They didn't seem angry with one another, but they seem frustrated with one another. That is when uMakhumalo said, go wrong for you, Musa, to say you are doing things to protect umuzi kaMakhumalo. Why are you not doing things to protect umuzi wakho as a whole? If you keep saying ukuthi you protect njalo sibele sethi uvikela umuzi kaMakhumalo, uvikela umuzi kaMakhumalo, uvikela umuzi kaMakhumalo, then sizofila ngathi thina you are not doing anything to ukuthi uvikele yethi imizi. Owami umuzi uvikela nini? Ngoba wena into efanele ngabe uyayisho ukuthi wenza izinto ukuvikela imizi yakho. Usho leyo nto ukuthi if wena Makhumalo ushona, then what will happen to your household? You know, so yeah, and then it got heated. I don't like ukuthi Makhumalo every time kukhulunywa ngento that concerns the akabi ne contribution there, but maybe that is just a strategy. Maybe she feels ukuthi even if she said something, it wouldn't make a difference to everybody, so she might as well not say, because vele it was i-clash. So amukho lalelo munye wonke umuntu ufuna ipoint lakhe liziwe. Uma yeni kodwa at some point she does make a point ukuthi I know you think that I won't leave, but I mean I still stand where I have always stood ukuthi if you take number 5 mina nengane zami we are out of here. So kukwena futhi na ushilo uLokhuzana ku-interview mayini ukuthi yabona lento ukuthi umuntu aloku ekufundekela ngokuthi you'll never leave him because you've been through a lot together. Ngelinye ilanga lokho kuzophela. Ngelinye ilanga lokho kuzophela. I don't know, guys. I get the feeling ukuthi even if Umseleko did take number 5, Umayeni wouldn't leave. Angazi ukuthi nifila kanjani na, but I get that feeling ukuthi she's just trying to stop him from taking number 5. But if he did, Umseleko, uLokhuzana Umayeni wouldn't leave. There is a time when uMakhumalo asked uLokhuzana Umseleko, because Umseleko kept saying izinto ngomangwabe, mina ngeke ngize ngirulwe umangwabe. And when she walked out, uMakhumalo, I think, said, because the conversation is not over. Why don't you go after her? I think very if someone walks out of the room, you would expect maybe the husband is gonna go and say, are you okay? Can you come back and just finish a conversation? Mina I won't embarrass myself because ngiyamazi mangwami uzovele nje mhlawumbe athi yazi na ngizilapho mina, and then I will have to bear the embarrassment ukuthi I attempted to get her back la ku conversation la in this room. And umacele says ukuthi if ukuthi sekunjalo and you are not happy, why are you still with her? Honestly, I thought umacele not ukuthi vele coming from a sister wife vele kuzwakala ku harsh and kuzwakala kungathi why is it any of your business? But it's a valid question for all of us ukuthi if you guys are frustrating one another so much and it looks like you are not working on the same goal, any relationship yabo do not serve them both anymore, or they have promises that they have broken, both of them. Why are they still there? It was a valid question. Umusa i-answer yakhe was that ngicina isithembiso sami sokuthi phela sashada ngathi mina ebuhleni nasebubini and size sahlukaniswe ukufa. So I don't think a woman who wants a man to stay just because of that, but they don't love them anymore and they don't respect them anymore. Angazi, guys, for me, what I took from this episode was that this is the only time where I really got confirmation yokuthi uMangwabe wants out of that marriage. She wants out of that marriage, and it would be so easy for her to walk out because vele abashadile ukushada angithi vele umshado abawuphelele, so it would be so easy for her to walk out. But I feel like if she really didn't care about Umusa, she would have left already. I do feel like that, and I feel like she has hopes ukuthi Umusa will probably come to his senses. I decide to akamthatha number 5 and then she would stay. But I feel like she's over it, guys, and I feel like she really is just waiting for number 5 ukuthi kuthiwa naga baba mnomzane, and then athi ngene makoti yena bephuma. But that's what happened in this episode. Oh yes, let me not leave this part, because at some point when Umayeni is saying, you know what, mina I would go if Musa takes to number 5, uyabuza kumacele ukuthi imaki ake sithi-ke siyanqaba ukuthi athathe number 5, what would you do-ke if eloku emithisa ngaphandle ethola, ngoba phela ufuna iy'ngane, ipurpose ukuthi ufuna iy'ngane. If ethola iy'ngane, what would uMayeni said the same, if he did that, then I would go. Ngoba phela vele, hey, his goal is to get iy'ngane, uzobe seyayithola lezo y'ngane zakho, mina ngizobe sengithathe zami-ke sengihamba nazo. I really don't think uMayeni would leave. Do you guys think ukuthi uMayeni would leave? But the conversation was just a mess. And once again, the family didn't resolve anything. They didn't solve anything. I really think Umusa, it would be such an interesting show if Umusa noma ngabe went for counseling, like marriage counseling. I think they have big misunderstandings between the two of them, or maybe it's not misunderstandings, I don't know, but it will be interesting to see them go through that and go and get some advice. I think one thing that Umusa fails to understand, Guti, there's not one marriage in that situation. There's 4 different marriages and there's 4 different relationships. Sometimes she treats the thing as a whole, like it's term. Uyathanda ukukhuluma phela isithembu lesipheleni, but she forgets, yeah, within isithembu there is a marriage, there's a marriage, there's a marriage, there's a marriage, there's a marriage, and within a marriage a relationship has to work. And I think for her, Umangwabe, right now it's not working, and he needs to do, if he wants that marriage to work, he needs to do certain things to make sure that they understand one another and they make their marriage works. And maybe marriage counseling would work for them if they want to stay together, and just to understand one another. Maybe if they did go for counseling, they will end up understanding one another, and maybe she will understand Umangwabe why Umselego wants to take another wife. Umayeni at some point she did make a point, you know what, ne? We already don't have enough time. We already don't have enough time with you. He doesn't have enough time for all of us here. Now, where is he gonna get his Katsentomb? You know, these wives are not getting enough time with their husbands, and we wonder why they have such attitudes, they have such frustrations. If you are married, guys, and you don't spend 5 days a week with your husband, I mean, you know, we know what is terrible, but still it's frustrating. We can't run away from the fact that it's frustrating. So that was an episode today. In conclusion, guys, galokuzana kamsele ukuthi abahambayo so sala sincenga. What he was saying was that, yeah, if he won't force them out, but if they go, he won't be able to stop them. But yena number 5 uzowuthatha because ufuna ukubuyisa isithunzi sakhe njenge-head of the family, which means uma ngabe phela ushilo ukuthi musani ukuthi number 5 lo uzothathwa, kahle kahle lo uzothathwa number 4, ngoba when she comes mina I'll be gone, so she'll be number 4. But he insisted at the end ukuthi number 5 uzomthatha. I still feel like this is a made up storyline. There is no number 5. If there was a number 5, we would have met her already. So, but I don't know, maybe there is. I feel like there isn't. It's the number 5 thing is all scripted. There's no number 5, and they're just doing it for the show to give us drama, and it's giving us enough drama apparently. I really would love to see Uthando Nesthembu doing like the real reality. Let's see people going to work. Let's see umuntu waking up in the morning, their morning routine, you know, the evening routine, like doing normal stuff, going to work. It's always, oh, siyasikhipha namhlanje, oh, sine dinner namhlanje. Are they really living like that? You know, they don't. That's why it just feels scripted sometimes, because they just do things that normal families don't do all the time, you know. So you're not always having dinners. Can we just see your normal day going to work? You know, can we see your normal day just going to a meeting like we saw Umacele ngalela langa? They don't do a lot of that. So sometimes that's why it feels scripted. But guys, I've talked so much. This video is gonna be long, but this episode had a lot of things that we can discuss. Whatever I left out, I'll be thinking about it. I'll be going through my notes. If I feel like there's something that I left out that is very important to discuss, then I'll be posting videos throughout the weekend if I have time. It's a Christmas weekend, guys, so we're still that one way. But other than that, Merry Christmas to everybody. I love you so much. Thank you so much, guys, for supporting me. To have my channel monetized in 5 months It's because of all of your support and all of the time that you spend watching my videos. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas. Nginithanda kakhulu.